Zell Boy Army. Woo! Got a bit of a different video for you today. I am going to do an honest review of every single icon in the game. This is going to be somewhat based off my experience with them on previous FIFAs. When I've played with quite a lot of them this year, not all of them, but what I've played with them on this game, when I played against them, and also, like, let's say if it's someone like Inzaghi, who I've never seen be played with in this game, what I think he will play like based on his in-game stats. So it's going to be a mix of everything. I think it might be a bit of a funny video, trying something a bit different. Please let me know what you think of this video. I'm trying to come up with different content that you guys are going to enjoy. If you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel. Every day, new spicy content dedicated to helping make you guys better at the game, helping you build better teams, and also hopefully enjoy the game and have a bit of a laugh. That's what this channel is all about. Let's get into it. The first icons we're going to do are going to be the keepers. So we're going to start with Mr. Lev Yashin, the only keeper to win the Ballon d'Or. But on FIFA 20, all I can say about Mr. Yashin is too small, and he doesn't get his superpowers until he wears his hat. Peter Schmeichel, probably not worth the coins. 6'4", good stats. Still won't make many more saves than any other keepers. Van der Sar, best keeper in the game, to be honest. I used him in the pro qualifiers. Very good, 6'6", very good height on the game. My favourite keeper, but Informed Courtois is better value. And not much different. Peter Cech, he gets his superpowers with the hat that you might not get from Yashin, but it's just not as good as Van der Sar. Bit of a waste of coins. No Czech players that you want a double strong link to. It's a no from me. We are moving to left backs. For this, I'm only going to do players who, in my opinion, their best position was this. So Zambrotta has a left back card, but I'm not going to put him there because I think his best position was a right back. So we only end up having two left backs because players like Philip, Lahm, Petit, they weren't really left backs, let's be honest. Ashley Cole, one of the icons they've done the most dirty on this game. It is a travesty what they've done to you, Ashley. Why would you want Ashley Cole when you can just get Ferland Mendy? Roberto Carlos, one of the greatest players of his generation, but he has 2-star weak foot, 74 dribbling. Pretty useless on this game. And how many coins is Roberto? 900k. Case closed. Mr. Alberto. Actually surprised me how good this guy was. I used him for a good few weeks. Definitely the best right back in the game. Probably not worth the coins again compared to a Kyle Walker, but very good. Zanetti, Inter Milan legend. Played apparently 858 games for them. 145 caps for Argentina. But he did more use, taking the Inter Milan players out for dinner every week. 48 jumping, 83 pace. Shall I? We come to the centre-backs. There is going to be a bit of a recurring theme with these boys, and I'm sure you can probably figure it out pretty quick. But Desai, actually my favourite centre-back I've used this year. Beastly, plays up to his stats. Love this guy. Sol Campbell, still sliding. Why would you get Sol instead of Informed Gomez? He's better probably out and out defensively, but he's slow, awful on the ball, turns like a truck. Don't want Sol. Rio Ferdinand, absolute rip-off. Just get Informed Joe Gomez. Ronald Koeman, looks a pretty good card if you add another 5 pace and make him a CDM. Pretty good in general, but 5'11", bit small. Pretty good, but yeah, too slow again. Vidic, too slow. One of the best centre-backs of his generation, definitely in the Premier League. Maybe his moments card will fix him. Cannavaro, Ballon d'Or winning centre-back. He's the only defender in my lifetime, and I'm 28, who has ever won the Ballon d'Or. I can't even name the other defender if there is one who's won the Ballon d'Or. He was a World Cup winning captain, and he's just too slow. His baby card, getting there on the pace, but on FIFA, he's 5'9", so even when he gets a card, that's a bit quicker. He's still pretty useless. Does some good stuff on the game, but he's a bit weak. Just doesn't do it for me. Bobby Moore, World Cup winning captain again. Way too slow. He's unusable on this game. You would rather use Davinson Sanchez, Manolas, Diego Carlos, Militao. Why is a World Cup winning captain being put behind names like this? Bobby Moore's got to be one of the biggest disgraces on the game. How underrated he is. Fernando Hierro, he has less finishing than quite a few of the centre backs probably. Yeah, Coman has like 39 more finishing than him. Blanc has more. Fernando Hierro scored more goals in his record season than Patrick Kluivert did. So one, they've done him dirty there. But again, he's too slow. Even his faster cards are too slow. On a game like FIFA 21, you cannot use a centre-back with less than 80 pace unless you want to get ripped by through balls. Blanc. Okay, 79 pace. I'll let him off. We'll use Blanc. He's a bit of a beast, but he's double the price of Van Dijk, who he basically plays like, but he's a bit better on the ball. I'd rather go for someone like Varane or Inform Gomez. Nesta, one of the greatest centre-backs of his generation again. Too slow. Can see the recurring theme. Carlos Puyol, arguably the captain of the world's greatest ever club side. That Barcelona that had him and Piqué, Messi in his prime. Messi's still obviously fantastic. Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, David Villa. He's too slow. Puyol is not whatsoever usable on this game. I would love to use Carlos Puyol. He's got fantastic defending and physical stats, but FIFA doesn't seem to care for that. Baresi. My dad, who I really trust his opinion on football, says Baresi is the best defender he has ever watched. What do you think I'm going to say, boys? Too slow. It just gets a bit boring. Half the icons on this list probably are going to keep coming back to this. They're just too slow. You can't use Baresi. Maldini. Great defending stats, and you do notice it a bit. He's a bit weak. He will be one of the best centre-backs in the game, but he's the highest rated centre-back. I'm not sure I'd want to use him over Varane. If they're both given to me untradeable, yeah, I'll probably use Maldini, not just for the icon chemistry, but just about the overall stats. But he's like 1.8 million. Why would you be bothered at that price? We are now at the CDMs. So Frank Rijkaard, main position at his best was a CDM. His prime and moments cards are both CDMs. Obviously, at the moment, his best card that's available is actually an 88. So Rijkaard will judge it more off what his prime and moments will be. He is a solid CDM on the game, but really doesn't stand out that much. He was part of the Milan team that had Hullet Van Basten. Yeah, not a lot to say about Rijkaard. Gattuso, his stats for the most part are pretty fair, but he's too slow, can't shoot, not that good at passing on this card. His baby card's better. He's usable, but why would you care to use him? One of the problems that keeps coming up in these honest reviews of icons is going to be a lot of these guys, they maybe do have relatively fair stats, but whilst you give them stats like this, they're not very usable. Bobby Moore pocketed Pele in a game, had a great game against Pele. Good luck trying to defend Pele with Bobby Moore on FIFA 21. Guardiola, decent card. Will play quite well on this game. Makelele, can't dribble, can't shoot. Out and out defending like Makelele was good at. Yeah, he will do that pretty good on the game. Just get Kante. Michael Essien, very good. His baby might be arguably better. His moments is a very good card when it comes out. I do like Michael Essien's card. He's pretty well rounded. Emmanuel Petit always feels pretty clunky. Can't shoot that well. Not that fast until we get to his better cards, and then there's faster cards out. Not that bothered about Emmanuel. Philip Lahm surprisingly plays better than I expected. I've played against him quite a lot. Quite a few pros have used him. He's quick. The 3-star is a bit of a letdown. I wish they'd at least given him 4-star weak foot. His physicals don't seem to matter as much because he's got such good defending. Probably a card that they've done fairly alright on. Mateas, rapid, pretty well-rounded card, but he always feels clunky in game. Stay away from Loafer. Not worth it. We come now to the centre midfielders. A lot of the time, these centre mids might be made to CDMs, some might even be converted to cams. Let's just judge them based off where we think they generally will get picked in the game. Veron, pretty well-rounded card, but probably not a good enough defender, probably not quick enough. I really hope you haven't done his icon SBC. Say Dwarf, not Say Dwarf. Say Dwarf in game, doesn't play that great, doesn't really stand out. He's got a pretty good card, but I ain't bothered about you, Clarence. Big Patrick Vieira, massively overpriced. Like, what is he going at right now? What is his price? 3.9 million. Like, come on. Why would you pay that? It is basically a 6'4" glorified road to the final Musa Sissoko. Yes, he probably is up there as the best destroyer CDM in the game right now. 4 million coins, basically, no chance. Keane, basically a 5'11" version of Patrick Vieira with 10 less pace, which does hurt the card quite a bit. Paul Scholes can hit a tree in training with that passing, but too slow. Can't defend that well. Not for me. Schweinsteiger, German Paul Scholes in a lot of ways, but more physical. Too slow. Just useless card at this point of the game. Gerrard, this is like him when he was quite younger. It is a decent card when you look at these stats. Bit clunky maybe with that agility and dribbling. And then we see his 3-star. Why EA? Michael Ballack, very good to be honest. I actually quite like this card. He basically is quite like the Gerrard card. It's a very similar card to be honest, except for he's quite a lot better physically. But he's 4-star, so it makes him a lot better. Andrea Pirlo, Xavi, they're right next to each other. Two of the greatest passers in the game, and they're very good on the ball. The defending's not that high. They're a bit weak physically. They're a bit slow. Xavi doesn't have 5-star skills, doesn't have the weak foot. Pirlo's a bit more usable. Xavi's getting on the point of a high level on this game, which Xavi should be. Xavi's one of the greatest midfielders of all time. He should be a very, very, very good centre mid. He's not even usable at top level. I'd rather have road to the final Musa Sissoko. And everyone else thinks that because Musa Sissoko, without icon chemistry, is more expensive. I don't get how Xavi can't fit the meta. But he just doesn't. Pirlo, just a 4-star weak foot version of Xavi, basically. And then Mr. Meta himself, because he will be in any meta, Ruud Gullit, the best footballer to ever play the game, based on his stats. This isn't even his prime, never mind his moments. He's about as fast as Eden Hazard. Has about as good finishing as most top-level strikers. He's one of the best passers in world football according to his stats. He's very good on the ball. Has the defending of a generally pretty good Premier League centre-back. Has the heading, one of the best headers of all time. Very good in the air. Just jumping, considering he's 6'3", can use both feet. He's got very good strength, can run all day. And we're not even at his prime or moments, so yeah, Ruud Gullit, little bit overrated, I believe. We are at the right wingers. JJ Okocha, so iconic they named him twice. Very good on the ball. He's got the skill moves, good weak foot. But his finishing and sprint speed are probably too low to want to use out wide on FIFA 21. Luis Figo, actually a very good card, especially when you put a hunter on him. Doesn't feel that clunky on this game because dribbling and agility do matter more than balance. Very underrated card. I wouldn't have done his SBCs. I still think it was a bit overpriced. But yeah, I like this card. George Best, again with a hunter on, will be a very good card. The icon right wingers this year, they're not cheap because we don't have many good non-icon right wingers at the moment, but they're actually pretty good. Garincha, very good. His passing's some of the best in the game. He's great on the ball, quick, can shoot. I like the icon right wingers. I actually think there's a pretty good mix there and they're decent. I am not particularly sure why this is the case, but we have a lot more. We have double the amount of left mid, left wing icons than we do right mid, right wing. Maybe I just think there's more iconic left wingers, I guess. Pires, underrated card to be honest, but even his best card won't be great. 4-star, 4-star. Problem with these, you could say it for all of them to us. Why would you have them over Hazard or Neymar? Hazard for the cheaper end, Neymar for the elite end. I don't think any of these cards are going to come near Neymar right now. Nedved, very good all-round card. Always plays quite well in the game, to be honest. Gigs. That page alone. We can leave it there, Ryan. He doesn't look amused either, does he? John Barnes, again, bit of an underrated card on the game. Actually plays pretty good, I think. But yeah, probably not going to be miles better than Hazard by the physicality. Probably going to be a bit expensive too. Overmars lacks skill moves. Skill moves are pretty important in this game. He's quick. Probably actually going to be pretty decent value for an icon. But probably an underused card. Got a few weaknesses, but actually isn't bad, I don't think. Laudrup. Why would you use Michael Laudrup on FIFA? Great player. Did he win a Ballon d'Or? I don't know if it says it. I think he might have. One of the best passers of the ball of his generation. Only has 81 long passing, a bit weird. But yeah, not that great on FIFA. Stoichkov probably was a striker, I think, in his prime, but this is his best card at the moment. Very good until you see the weak foot. Thierry Henry, we don't get a striker till we get his prime, so we're going to be with his left wing. I actually think Henry will play pretty good this year. He wasn't that usable last year at a top level like Thierry Henry should be. I've seen people play with him and he seems very good. I think his strike is going to be an elite card. At this point, I don't know why you'd use him as a Neymar again, but I do think Henry will play pretty well in this game. And that's the left wingers. We are now at the central attacking midfielders. Hidetoshi Nakata. Actually, a lot better than most people would give credit for in the game. Weirdly, one of the more usable icon attacking midfielders, which I don't particularly understand. With a Hunter on, actually will probably play okay. Yeah, probably a bit underrated on the game. Not elite, but still good. Deco, 3-star, weak foot, can't shoot, weak, can't defend, not quick. He's not that unfair a card based on his real life stats, but unusable. Rivaldo, 2-star, weak foot. There you go. Littnerman, 22 aggression. Jeez, what even is that? Littnerman's just a weird card. Doesn't have the skill moves when he's a cam. Can't dribble that good, but high shooting. Like, I'm not even sure this guy would play in game. With a Hunter, he's got really good shooting. He's quick, but can't dribble that well. Weak. Like, I don't even know. Just weird. Rui Costa, as a CDM or box centre mid, even though he's not the best defender, I actually think he would play okay. Yeah. Why would you use him? Socrates, I think, will be very good this year. Yeah, his moments in particular could stand out, but again, very expensive. Kaká, criminally underrated by FIFA last year and will be this year. You have to wait till his moments to get a card that probably fairly represents Kaká. Riquelme, I would love to use him, but he's just too slow. It's just sad. In real life, having good movement and elite technical ability, good touch passing, means its pace wouldn't matter as much, but on FIFA it does. So unfortunately, Juan Roman Riquelme, we're not going to be able to use you until we get a game that can do that. Hadji, criminally underrated again by people, not by EA. His card's pretty good. He actually plays pretty well. It's not a card I'd like to play against. I actually think he's pretty good. Bergkamp, don't do the SBC. He's overpriced. Good card. Bergkamp's actually tends to be decent value on FIFA. Dutch is a pretty nice link to have. I quite like him. Badger, 80 balance, 82 agility. I don't even know a guy who had 92 dribbling can have that bad agility when he's 5'9". Weaker shot than me, probably at 73 shot pass. Stay away. The problem is, like, in real life, cams don't need to be crazy at shooting because they're playmakers who play other people in. But on FIFA, that's not how it works. You can just mark other players and let them shoot if they're not that good at shooting in general. So you can't really have someone like Badger at the price he is. Ronaldinho, insane. Also an insane price tag. Zidane, my favourite midfielder this year. I think Hullet probably still will be better. I actually think for how good Zidane is, he's not a ridiculous price because he's an icon. He's French. Insane card. It was stupid last year. He played awful, whereas this year he plays insane. I can't wait to see what his moments is like. Those are our cams. Oops, I missed one of the cams. Diego Maradona, rest in peace. His stats are stupidly good, and that's how they should be. Maradona's currently the joint highest rated player in the game with Pele, arguably the greatest player of all time. But then he ruined it 3-star week. But my dad said until he saw Messi and Ronaldo that Maradona was easily the best player he'd ever seen. But on FIFA, you'd rather use Mbappe than Maradona, which is a crying shame because Maradona really doesn't get used much, which he should considering how insane he was. I would love for Maradona to get a usable card on the game, but whilst weak foot matters so much, just isn't the case. Franco Zola, actually a very good player on FIFA. Not one I like playing against. Little magician, very hard to tackle. With a hunter, this card's actually a bit of a joker. Pretty insane. Recommended budget icon to pick up. And there's arguments his baby card's even better. Raul. Looks decent. Pretty good. Wait till his prime and then you have a really good card. Cantona, the king. I used the baby icon this weekend to get a 30-0. Really enjoyed him. His prime and moments are going to be one of the best card in the whole game, I think. He just suits this game because he's good enough on the ball because his balance isn't as big an issue. And his prime moments, I mean, the baby in mid, the baby's more quick and agile. This one's more technical. So when you get the prime or moments one, which combine them both, what a card we're going to have. Dalglish, always great. Well, I mean, I think this is second year of the game. He will always be great. He just suits FIFA, being quick, good on the ball, 5-star weak foot. You're going to be waiting until his moments to get an elite card probably, and by then there's a lot more cards out, but he's still a pretty good one. Del Piero, good. I think he'll be better this year based on his balance. I just think there's better options generally. Cruyff, insane as ever. His balance being a bit lower doesn't matter quite as much on this game. I've played against him a lot. I hate playing against him. He bullies Patrick Vieira whenever I play against him, it seems. So, yeah, Johan Cruyff will always be one of the best players on this FIFA. Eusebio, his baby card's arguably the better card. I think this one's better value. I don't think the baby's worth 500k more. Eusebio, again, is one of those icons who's just going to be insane on every FIFA. And Pele, the debate for current best player in the game is between him and R9. If you want just out-and-out dribbling, pace, ability on the ball, then you're probably going Pele. If you want all-round, like including aerial, because R9's a bit taller, brute strength, bit of everything, then R9 might be your man. But this might finally be the year that Pele lives up to his stats. Insane, just horrible to play against, as he should be. To finish it off, we're looking at the strikers. The only one that didn't make it onto the list here, because there's literally too many striker icons to fit him in, was Ian Wright. But Ian Wright, yeah, why would you use him? Inzaghi, similar thing. This card looks okay on paper, but then you look, he can't pass, he's weak, can't dribble. 3-star, 3-star. I actually packed the baby version of Inzaghi. Pretty useless card, and he was a great striker in his prime. Crespo, pretty decent, well-rounded, generally better on FIFA than most people would give credit. Larson, his moments card tends to be good. These ones just a bit useless. Hernandez, 3-star weak foot. You're going to notice that'll probably be a bit of a recurring theme here. Suka, not used him on this game. He used to be in FIFA. I think his moments card could be a bit of a beast, maybe even his prime. Very well-rounded, just needs a bit more boost to some of his stats. Shevchenko, one of the greatest strikers of his generation, was top scorer in Serie A for nearly 5 years in a row, I think. Yeah, not very good on FIFA. Kluivert, decent on the game. His moments is pretty good, but a lot of these cards, by the time the moments gets here, there's much better cards anyway. Fernando Torres, I think this card looks okay. I've played against him a lot. He's good. Doesn't really stand out to me. Probably not as good as Torres should have been. Vieri, absolute lump. Like, who cares about Christian Vieri on this FIFA? Michael Owen, bit underrated, but has no skill moves, weak. Not too bothered about playing against him. Lineker, similar to Michael Owen. Sanchez, the best thing about this card is Afro. Closer, all-time World Cup top goal scorer. useless on FIFA. Drogba turns like a bus. Great player in real life. Not very good on FIFA. Trezeguet. Look at the dribbling stats. Good luck scoring with him. Shearer. What do you expect me to do with that? Rush. Very good when you get his moments card, which has the 5-star weak foot. Not very good at this point of the game, though. Van Nistelrooy. 3-star, 3-star. Insane in real life. Definitely one of the best strikers again of his generation. Yeah, not very good on FIFA. Butra, bit of a beast. Definitely like this card. Plays very well. The skill moves is a bit of an issue, but still very good. Eto'o, absolute baller. I've used both versions of him. I cannot wait for his prime or moments. Brilliant all-round card. Basically, the Cameroonian Mbappe without the skill moves, but a bit better across the board. Depends if you care for the skill moves or not. Van Basten. Marker. 3-time Ballon d'Or winner, and he had to effectively retire at 27 because of knee injuries. Forbes magazine rated him as the greatest athlete of all time to have his career ruined by injuries. So if his career was ruined by injuries, and he had 3 Ballon d'Ors, how good did that mean he was? Yeah, his shooting's elite. But how are you getting him into that position with that pace? That lack of dribbling? Like, it's an okay card, but just does not live up to how good Van Basten was in real life. Puskas. Look at these stats and you're like, Rink, what a card. And then you see the weak foot. He actually plays really well still in game, and I don't like playing against this card. It shows how good he is. If his moments or prime get a 4-star weak foot, we are looking at one of the best players in the game. But right now, he does not live up to that price tag. And then last but not least, we come to the daddy of all icons, Mr. R9. In good gameplay, he is a dream to play with. Insane. My favourite card this year. In bad gameplay, I'm not going to say he's bad because obviously he's still very good. He can still finish. He still gets a lot of stuff goes away with the strength. But yeah, the card just doesn't play the same in bad gameplay. You can say that about nearly any card, but that just shouldn't be the case. Best player in the game, in my opinion. And I've used pretty much all the top-rated cards. I love him, but 9 million coins, well, you can make the decision there. Boys, we have looked at every single icon in the game. Hopefully giving you a bit of an idea about all of them in case you didn't know. If I've missed any, please let me know. If you stuck around to the end, appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Something a little bit different. Have a spicy evening. Appreciate you all.